Hi, I'm Aubrey Shepherd, and on Friday, the 5th of August, 2011, Mayor Lioneld Jordan of Fayetteville, Arkansas, and members of the Environmental Action Committee of Fayetteville went over to Pinnacle Foods and presented to Doug Bryson. Well, there you saw the mayor with Doug Bryson. He's the manager of the Pinnacle Food Plant in South Fayetteville, and that was in the second photo. That was Sarah Lewis, who's chairman of the Environmental Action Committee and a member of the City Council representing Ward 4. So anyway, we were there for the presentation of a certificate of appreciation to Pinnacle Food Company for several years of protective management of the Pinnacle Prairie. So many of my photos come from Pinnacle Prairie, my best nature photos, because it's an extremely wonderful wetland prairie adjacent to, on the west, World Peace Wetland Prairie, which is a city nature park. And so we're going to show some video, if we can, of that event.
Here to partner with you. We have no plans to disturb or develop that in any way. So we're very proud. I'm very proud that we can be a part of that. So again, don't hesitate to pick up the phone again and give me a call. Tell me what we're doing right or wrong. So
I want to know when the Ivoryville woodpecker comes up. Once it really gets to that point where we have it, then the tourism will really start coming in from the world. Get that woodpecker pictures.
Well, you know, it's really an honor to be able to Bryson give you all this award because it preserves our natural habitat of the city, which has been a great project for us. But you know, I want to thank you. I also want to thank Sarah Lewis and the work of the Environmental Action Committee, because they're the ones that really helped, you know, prove this award. Aubrey, thank you very much. Aubrey was the one that came up with the idea for the award we ran to the city committees. You know, this is a great thing about partnership. By yourself can't get anything done. If everybody works together, you can accomplish almost anything. So it's a great honor and a privilege. I think you may be the first company in this city to get this award. You're not going to be the last. So it's a great honor and privilege.
all right. Thank you very much.
Step over that way in the light, please. And let's get it.
Okay, let me get I'm going to use my communication director job.
I can hold this whole crowd.
He's a pro at that.
It's better to relax and let the poses happen.
I'll let somebody else get set.
I'll just say a couple things that we've been working on. So they're beyond just, so this is
Good.
an ongoing
Thank
educational
you.
effort that I'd like to mention too, sorry. That, because we've also been communicating with at the state level about the highway medians and not mowing as much and trying to just do swales for stormwater. So this is it's a broad scope, and it saves gas money because you don't have to mow as much, and it's a lovely area, and it's attractive, and it provides habitat, pollination. I don't know, I mean, if you're involved in sustainability, you're hearing, and food, you're hearing about the lack of pollinators and our food supply. And in my day job, I'm the Food, Beverage, and Ag Sector Coordinator for the Sustainability Consortium, and this is something that is one way to show that you're reducing your impacts. And so it's a complex system where little things do count, though. And so we really appreciate the committee is a great way, is a citizen group that cares about these kinds of things, and also, you know, they're citizens. They're a representation of a broad scope of citizens in the community. So I'm on the city council, but I'm certainly not the only one saying these things. It's
So why don't you get a picture?
okay.
Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd, and once again I want to tout the joys of Bringing Nature Home, a book by Doug Tallamy, who's an entomologist. And one of the reasons is you often find things in nature that are in his book. And this one is a a moth. It's the Antheria polyphemus, or polyphemus moth. And it's in a pretty bad state there. And we tried to rescue it. And actually, this was on Saturday, the 6th of August, 2011. And tried to, well, like monarch butterflies, when they come out of their chrysalis, you can put them on some fruit, and they'll nectar a little bit while they're gaining strength and drying out their wings, getting ready to fly, and look for some flowers to nectar on, and then eventually some milkweed plants to lay their eggs on. They have to have milkweed for their caterpillars. But this one was in pretty bad shape, and this polyphemus moth was there at World Peace Wetland Prairie. All around the periphery and in the center of World Peace Wetland Prairie, you have lots of various trees, as well as prairie plants and wetland plants. So if you get to looking at Doug Tallamy's book and other sources, you can read that these moths, these huge moths, depend on the various trees. A lot of oak trees there, wild cherry, and many other things that they may use as host plants. Well, you can see that one just wasn't able to fly away. That's why I was able to pick it up. And before I found out what its life cycle was, Lauren Hawkins tried to give it some cantaloupe, which is something that monarchs like, and others, but no, it can't feed. The reason is now there's the eggs, a couple of shots, different eggs that were on oak leaves nearby, and we assume could have been laid by that polyphemus moth. We're not sure it's a female, and we're not sure that it's the same one, but it's just a couple of yards or something from where it was on the ground when she found it. So it was about near its end of its life cycle. Well, here we jump over and see a skipper moth on a native thistle. I hope your neighborhood you can find some native thistle, because you're going to see a lot of butterflies and moths using them this week. Anyway, back to the polyphemus moth. The next day, on Sunday, I discovered, why, goodness sake, there's a new one. This one had to be newly hatched while that other one was at the end of its life cycle. And this one was hanging out there, and you can see maybe a closer view in some cases here. You can see that fan up there on the head. That's the antennae, couple of antennae, and they, in the case of the males, they have larger, fuzzier ones that help them get the scent of the female and find the female to fertilize her eggs so that she can lay the eggs and get ready to die, because they only live a couple of weeks after they come out of their chrysalis. And their chrysalis may just be some wadded up leaf on an oak tree or a wild cherry tree or many others. You need to read about this to even guess, but it's a good reason not to destroy those crumpled leaves. Can you imagine this big, beautiful thing being crushed as a chrysalis and never get to lay its eggs? But those caterpillars live for months and months, some of them over winter, some of them through the summer, and come out. So you've got 2 generations in a year, I believe. But when it's a caterpillar, that's when it eats the most. It can't eat at all when it's an actual moth. It has no mouth parts. So you see how fat the body of that freshly hatched one was. So that's one of the wonders of nature that we don't get to see every day. There's something neat going on right now. These carpenter bees are pretty plentiful, and some of them are actually spending the night inside the flower that they want to get their nectar from, and be there to control their dining space the next day. Here's Doug Tallamy's picture of the polyphemus moth and its caterpillar at the bottom of the page. So you can get an idea of what the caterpillar looks like. Till next time, This is Aubrey Shepherd asking you to do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, and the woods green. See ya.